Northwestern, Dakota Wesleyan, Mount Marty, and Grandview. And Grandview to start the year on January 2 with a win 74-49. That was a non-conference game. And then the Defenders beat Hastings and Jamestown last weekend. And on Wednesday, lost to Doane 71-66, the final in Crete, Nebraska, as the Defenders go down to defeat for the first time this season. The Defenders are averaging 79 points per game. They allow 60 points per outing. They are converting 49% of their field goals. They surrendered 39% success. Three-point shooting, Dordt was above 40% most of the season. They're now slightly below 40% at 39.2, and they are defending the three-point arc to the tune of 25.2%. Rebounds per game, Dordt has a 39-31 rebounding edge, turn it over 14 times per game, and force 17 turnovers per contest. Individuals to watch for the Defenders: Carly Gustafson, 17.1 points per game. Bailey Beckman, 16.5. Jeannie Schoenhoven, 11.8 points per game. Both Gustafson and Schoenhoven averaging over 7 rebounds per game and both converting over 60% of their field goals. Macy Sievers is at 8 points per contest with 4.9 rebounds and 6.2 assists. Hayden Hymanson is at 6.7 points per game. Faith Van Holland is at 6.1. McKenna Klecker and Macy Nielsen come off of the bench for 4.1 and 4.2 points per game, respectively. For the Briarcliff Chargers, they started the year with a loss to Clark, then ran off 5 wins in a row over Dakota State, Bellevue, Presentation, Concordia, and Mount Marty. Lost back-to-back games to Dordt and Northwestern inside league play, losing to Dordt by 6 and Northwestern by 4 right around the Thanksgiving holiday. Then reeled off 4 wins in conference play in a row over the College of St. Mary, Morningside, Midland, and Hastings before losing to Dakota State 88-83. Briarcliff then came back with a 4-game winning streak, and that's where they're at right now, having beaten Avila, Dakota Wesleyan, Doane, and Jamestown. That win over Jamestown coming on Wednesday, 70-66. Briarcliff Chargers average 78 points per game. They allow 62. They convert 46% of their field goals. They allow 40% success. They're shooting 33% from the three-point line. They're allowing 31%. They out-rebound teams 37-34. Turnovers per game, they give it up 14 times, and they force 19 turnovers per outing. A lot of the same suspects for the Briarcliff Chargers. The usual suspects: Connor Sudman, 19.1 points per game. Madeline Deichler, 13.8 points per contest to go with 6.8 rebounds. Kennedy Benny is at 11.6 points per game, and Peyton Slaughter is at 9.6 points per game with 7.1 rebounds per contest. Chargers have won 4 games in a row. They've won 7 GPAC contests in a row. Chargers are 8-3 in games played away from the Newman Flanagan Center. Briarcliff is coached by Brian Ortmeyer, and they have 3 1,000-point scorers on their team, including Connor Sudman, Madeline Deichler, and Peyton Wengert. Wengert doing most of her damage the first 4 years at Midland. And they have picked her up as a 5th-year player. And Peyton Wengert is in her 5th season now, a graduate player for the Briarcliff Chargers. For the Dordt Defenders, Carly Gustafson is at 1,255 career points. Bailey Beckman, 1,201. Bill Harmson is 104 and 42 in coaching for the Defenders, and he has a 71.2 winning percentage. Briarcliff traveled to Jamestown on Wednesday night, secured a 70-66 win after leading 37-33 at halftime. Chargers made 44% of their field goals while limiting Jamestown to 39% shooting. Briarcliff won in spite of getting outshot 37-30 and 14-13 in terms of turnover disparity. That should be out-rebounded 37-30. Chargers made up for much of that with 7 of 12 three-point shooting, as Slaughter and Sudman were a combined 7 of 8 from the arc. The Defenders surrendered a late 10-point lead to Doane on Wednesday and lost 71-66. Dordt trailed 21-18 after 1 quarter, but had a 34-32 lead at halftime, led 54-52 entering the 4th quarter of play. In the series, Dordt beat Briarcliff November 22 in Sioux City. After taking a 19-15 first quarter lead, they went on to win it 81-75. Defenders were 31 of 54 from the field and 7 of 13 from the arc. Briarcliff was 25 of 62 from the field and 2 of 13 from the arc. Beckman and Gustafson had 18 each for the defenders, and Gustafson had 10 rebounds and 3 assists. Hayden Hymanson and Janie Schoenhoven had 14 and 13 points, respectively. Let's take another 2-minute break. We'll be back with starting lineups for tonight's contest right after this 2-minute timeout. Now for both teams on the Wireless World pregame show. First of all, for the Dordt defenders, starting at a guard will be number 5, Hayden Hymanson, a 5'8" sophomore from Rock Rapids, averaging 6.7 points per game. Number 13 is Bailey Backman, a 5'5" senior from Panora, Iowa, averaging 16.5 points per contest. Number 30 is Carly Gustafson. She's a 5'11" senior from Ethan, South Dakota, averaging 17.1 points per game. Number 32 is Faith Van Hollen, a 5'8" junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, averaging 6.1 points per contest. And rounding out the starting unit will be number 35, Janie Schoenhoven, a 5'10" sophomore from Hospers, averaging 11.8 points per game. For the Briar Chargers, they will start number 1, Kennedy Benny, a 5'8" junior from Oakland, Nebraska, averaging 11.6 points per game. Connor Sudman is a 5'11" senior from Trainer, Iowa, averaging 19.1 points per game. Number 10, Peyton Wengert, a 6' senior from Dakota Dakota Dunes, averaging 7.2 points per game. She's actually a 5th-year player. Peyton Slaughter is a 5'6" senior from Cherokee, averaging 9.6 points per game. And Madeline Deichler is a 5'11" senior from Trainer, Iowa, averaging 13.8 points per game. She wears number 14. Leading players off of the bench for Briarcliff, Cajun Held and Madison Rogan, averaging 5.0 and 4.9 points per game respectively. For the defenders, Macy Sievers wears number 10. She's averaging 8 points per game. McKenna Clucker's at 4.1. Macy Nielsen is at 4.2 points per game. And Eliana Caparis is a 5'10" sophomore from Manhattan, Montana, averaging 2.2 points per game. We are just about set to get into the national anthem and the starting lineups here at the DeWitt. So let's take a 2-minute break and we'll be back with the opening tip. Dordt versus Briarcliff GPAC basketball right after this 2-minute timeout.
Family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today, serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University and sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy. And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
We've got all the other conference games out in front of us, and 4 of the games are finals. Obviously, Briar, Cliff, and Dordt just getting tipped off. So the other 4 finals today include Morningside beating Doane 78-63. College of St. Mary downed Hastings 66-63. A little bit of an upset over in Omaha. Jamestown defeating Concordia in come-from-behind fashion 79-72. So Jamestown bounces back from 3 straight losses to beat Concordia at home today 79-72. And Northwestern, very little problem with Midland this afternoon. Final score there 84-51 in women's basketball play. Standings look like this then in the GPAC after you factor in all of those games. Dordt and Briar Cliff atop the heap at 10-1 and 9-2 respectively. Northwestern is 9-2. Jamestown jumps in front of Concordia by a half game, 8-4. Concordia is now 8-5. Morningside is 7-5. Dakota Wesleyan stands 5-5. They play Mount Marty tomorrow at the Corn Palace. Doane and Hastings are 5-7 and 4-8 respectively. College of St. Mary is 2-10, and the Midland Warriors stand 1-11. Those are the conference standings heading into play with 2 games remaining this weekend. The Dordt Defenders facing Briar Cliff in the game you're going to listen to right now. And then wrapping things up this weekend, Mount Marty and Dakota Wesleyan playing in Mitchell tomorrow afternoon. Opening tap is up and controlled by the Dordt Defenders. Coming away with the basketball is Hymanson. Hymanson with it on the right-hand side, goes over to Beckman. Beckman with it on the wing. Beckman goes to Gustafson. Gustafson with the basketball. Body's on the floor already. Gustafson looking for Hymanson. Picks up her dribble. Passes it back out front to Bailey Beckman. Beckman looks for a pick and roll. Hesitates. Drives in. Puts it up. And she is fouled on the play. So a foul called on the play. Bailey Beckman will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Well, after the game on Wednesday, the blueprint might be out on how to try and beat this Dordt team, at least contain them, and that is play the guards very physically. We saw that with Doane on Wednesday. First free throw no good by Beckman. She makes the second, and the Dordt defender lead is 1-0. 1-0 our score, Briar Cliff basketball. Out front with it is Wenger. Wenger gives it up to Benny. Benny with the basketball. Benny puts it up. Shot no good. Rebound controlled by the Chargers. And we've got a foul on the putback attempt. Faith Van Hollen commits the foul. Madeline Deichler will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. So Deichler will go to the free throw line. She'll shoot a pair. 1-0 our score. Dordt in front. Deichler first free throw up and good. She's a 59% free throw shooter. And Dordt and Briar Cliff are now deadlocked at 1-1. Another free throw on the way for Deichler, a senior from Trainer. This one's up and good as well. The Trainer product makes it 2-1. Dordt with the basketball in the backcourt. Briarcliff shows full court pressuring defense. Van Hollen gets it across the timeline on the pass, goes right side with it. Comes back over to Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. Beckman double team. Comes back over to Schoenhoven. Right side Van Hollen. Van Hollen to Gustafson. Gustafson flips it up with a reverse layup. Good. Carly Gustafson able to get around Deichler for the 2-point bucket on the reverse as she wraps it around with right hand. And now the Briarcliff Chargers have the basketball. Briarcliff with it on the right-hand side, Sudman. Sudman down to the baseline. Sudman cut off there by Van Hollen. Sudman gets it back now. Sudman driving in, nothing there. Comes back outside to Deichler. Deichler, Sudman. Sudman with it, top of the key. Sudman fires it back outside, 5 to shoot. As the shot clock is expiring, it misses everything. And a shot clock violation called on the Briarcliff Chargers as that shot failed to draw iron. Dordt with the basketball, leading 3-2 after the turnover. So Dordt in front, 3-2 with the basketball. Gustafson will throw it in, and Gustafson gets it into Beckman. Beckman ahead to Hymanson. Hymanson across the timeline. Hymanson across half court. She's dribbling with the right hand. Hayden now retreats with the left hand. Goes left side over to Van Hollen. Van Hollen looking down low for Gustafson. Van Hollen gets going downhill. Flips it up off the glass. No good. And a foul on the rebound called on Janie Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven whistled for foul number 1. That is team foul number 2 against the defenders. And the Briarcliff Chargers get the basketball back, trailing 3-2. 3-2 our score. Coming back the other way, Briarcliff throw it down into the post. Deichler. Deichler working against Schoenhoven. Pivots, throws it back outside Benny. Benny with the basketball in the lane. Tries to cross over Beckman. Ball deflected out. Picked up by Peyton Slaughter. Slaughter with the basketball. Slaughter over to Sudman. Sudman with it on the right elbow. Her shot hangs on the rim, won't go through. Rebound cleared by Van Hollen. Van Hollen with the basketball. Van Hollen into the front court. Goes over to Hymanson. Hymanson with it. Hymanson with it on the right-hand side. Goes back over to Beckman. Beckman with it in, trying to drive in, and Beckman dribbles it off of the Briarcliff player and out of bounds. It'll be Dordt basketball. So Dordt with the basketball, inbounding in front of the Briarcliff bench. 13 seconds on the shot clock. And they try to pass it into Beckman, and it's poked away by Slaughter. Dordt with the basketball. Van Hollen will throw it in. And they get it into Beckman. Beckman with the basketball in between the circles. Beckman driving right-hand side. Beckman hesitates, now drives in, flips it up, 10-footer in the lane, can't get it to go. And the rebound is cleared by Deichler. Deichler with the basketball ahead to Benny. Benny with it. Benny stops, throws it back for Wengert, and Wengert is called for the charge. Peyton Wengert whistled for the charging foul. Dordt will have the basketball back, leading 3-2 with nearly 3 minutes gone in this contest. Gustafson inbounds the basketball, finds Hymanson. Hymanson with it on the right-hand side. Hymanson over to Gustafson, left side Beckman. Beckman with it. Beckman with it at the top of the key. Beckman, they jam her on the pick and roll attempt. Beckman now still with the dribble, still live, goes over to Hymanson. Hymanson over the basketball. Hymanson, Wengert jams her, steps through, gets it to Gustafson, and we've got a foul called against the Briarcliff Chargers, and Peyton Wengert has just picked up her second personal foul. So foul number 2 called on the Briarcliff Chargers, Peyton Wengert. She'll check out of the ballgame. That is team foul number 3 against the Briarcliff Chargers. Dordt will inbound the basketball. Faith Van Hollen gets the ball inbounded to Hymanson. Hymanson will chase it into the backcourt after it's deflected. Hymanson with it. Briarcliff bringing the defensive pressure. Pass it down low, Gustafson. Gustafson thought maybe she had the right hand move. Instead, gets it back now. Flips it up with the right hand. Shot no good, and a foul called on Madeline Deichler. Deichler whistled for the foul. That's team foul number 4 on the Briarcliff Chargers. And going to the free throw line will be Gustafson. Gustafson will shoot 2 free throws. Got a couple of points to her credit already. First one is up and through. Another one on the way. She's got 3. Second free throw on the way for Gustafson. That one's up and through as well. 4 points for Gustafson, and the Dordt lead is 5-2. 5-2 our score. Briarcliff with the basketball. Josie Condon will bring it up. Condon gets the ball inbounded to Peyton Slaughter. Slaughter with the basketball. Slaughter passes left-hand side Sudman. Sudman puts it up from 15, missed it, no good. Rebound taken away by Sievers. Here comes Dordt in transition. Sievers with the basketball out front, feeds the trailer. Hymanson, 3-ball on the way, yes. Hayden Hymanson with the 3-point basket, and the Dordt defenders lead 8-2. There's a timeout on the floor, charged to the Briarcliff Chargers. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
Remaining in the first quarter. It's Briarcliff basketball after the timeout. Bringing the ball up is Slaughter. Slaughter feeds it right side. Slaughter, they go to Deichler. Deichler kick out pass. Driving in is Benny. Benny back to Deichler. Deichler off the glass, good. Deichler with the 2-point bucket. She's got 4, and the defender lead is 8-4. Sievers with the basketball, gets a screen, looking down low for Gustafson. Back it goes Carly. Carly with the left hand, good. Carly Gustafson with 6 points, and the Dordt lead is 10-4. 10-4 our score. Right side it goes. Sudman. Sudman with the basketball. Sudman passes to Benny. Benny driving in, and we've got a foul called against the defenders. It's going to go against Macy Sievers, I believe. Sievers whistled for the foul. That's number 1 on her. And team foul number 3 on the defenders. First free throw on the way for Benny is up and good. Kennedy Benny with a second free throw on the way. It's 10-5. Second free throw. Benny spots it up and puts it down. 10-6. Defenders by 4. Briarcliff's Kennedy Benny makes both free throws. Janie Schoenhoven back into the game. And the Dordt defenders with the basketball in the backcourt. This is Sievers. Sievers bringing the ball up. Sievers across the half-court stripe. The freshman dribbling, splits the defense, lays it up with the right hand, good. Sievers with the 2-point bucket. She makes it a 12-6 ball game. Dordt with their biggest lead of the game. Briarcliff down the floor, and it's tipped out of bounds by the defenders. So Langle is in now for Deichler. We are just underway. 5:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Bounce pass goes in. With the basketball is Langle. Kick out pass back to the perimeter. Held to Benny. Benny back around the horn they go. Sudman. Sudman working against Klecker. And the shot is out of bounds. Last touched by Briarcliff. It'll be Dordt basketball. Dordt with the basketball. Sievers in the backcourt. Sievers with it across the timeline. Macy with the dribble. Keeps it alive with the left hand. Passes right side to Klecker. Klecker with the basketball. Klecker on the right-hand side throws it away, intended for Sievers. Thought maybe a player tipped it. They didn't. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Briarcliff basketball. Briarcliff with the basketball. Bringing it up is Held. Held with it. Held across the timeline. 4:30 and counting, first quarter. Slow-moving game so far. A lot of whistles. Shot in the lane, no good. Rebound cleared by Schoenhoven after the missed shot. She battled Langle for that one. Here come the defenders up by 6. With it, right side is Sievers. Sievers looking for the entry pass. Throws it into Klecker. Klecker in the corner. Comes back to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven to Beckman. Beckman can't hang on to it. Here's a breakaway now for Benny. Benny lays it up with the right hand, good. Benny with a 2-point bucket. It's 12-8. Dordt up by 4. Here come the defenders for the basketball. Sievers on the right-hand side. Sievers throws it into Schoenhoven, squares up, puts it up against Langle, off of the glass, good, count the hoop. She's fouled on the play as well, and now Janie Schoenhoven with an opportunity to extend the lead. And the Dordt defenders shooting for a 3-point play opportunity with Janie Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven trying to extend the lead to 7. Free throw for Janie is up and good. So Schoenhoven makes them both. She's got 3, and the defender lead is 15-8. 15-8. Dordt with a 7-point advantage. 3:43 left to go here in the first quarter. Relatively slow-moving first quarter. Pass goes down to the baseline. Cut off Sudman. Sudman comes back out to Held. Held shot in the lane, no good. Rebound taken away by Beckman. Beckman up the floor with it. Slaughter on her hip. Stops, pops. 10-footer, rolls around, won't go through. Rebound tapped out by Van Hollen, kept alive, but Briarcliff chases it down. Briarcliff in transition now. Right-hand side, Held. Held comes back, left side over to Sudman. Sudman driving in. Sudman hands it off to Langle. Langle basket good. Rachel Langle averaging 2.2 points per game, gets free for a 2-point basket there. With the basketball left side goes. This is Gustafson, spins, loses it. Van Hollen tracks it down. And now Briarcliff players on the sideline, out of bounds. It will be Charger basketball. Beg your pardon, it'll be Dordt basketball. Last touch by the Chargers. Hymanson with it. She'll throw it in left side of the lane as we face the hoop. Hymanson still looking. Klecker with the basketball. Klecker throws it out front. Hymanson with it on the right-hand side. Hymanson, step back 3, missed it, no good. Rebound fought for, and we've got a foul called on McKenna Klecker. Klecker whistled for the personal foul. That's foul number 4 on the defenders. Dordt leading 15-10. So the Briarcliff Chargers will be throwing the ball in. This will be Josie Condon, a senior from Esterville, throwing the ball in. She gets it inbounded to Peyton Slaughter. Slaughter with the ball. Slaughter goes over to Sudman. Sudman with it in between the circles, goes right side. Lost the handle, picked back up now by Slaughter. Slaughter drives in. Her shot is good. Slaughter with a 2-point bucket. It's 15-12. Well, high pressure game so far. Both teams with a lot on the line. And driving in, Hymanson finishes at the hoop. Connor Sudman whistled for the personal foul as Hymanson drives in and gets the right-handed layup to go. She'll go to the free throw line for 1. And there you see that replay of Slaughter driving in with the right hand and finishing. Dordt with a 6-point lead now, 18-12. 18-12 after the made free throw by Hymanson. 3-pointer answering is good for Sudman. Sudman averaging 19.2 points per game, makes it a 3-point game with under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Hymanson throws it into Gustafson. Gustafson shows it. Gives it back right side. Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven shot is good. Count the hoop, and she is fouled. Josie Condon whistled for the personal foul. And Janie Schoenhoven will go to the free throw line for a 3-point play opportunity. 1:43 remaining in the quarter. Schoenhoven, free throw up, good. 2 3-point plays for Schoenhoven here in this period. And the Dordt defenders lead at 21-15. Briarcliff basketball. Driving down to the baseline. Shot is up, but late in arriving. Going to be called for the block is Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven has just picked up her second personal foul, and what makes that even more painful is that Eliana Caparis was waiting at the scorer's table to check in for her. So free throws on the way for Kennedy Benny. Benny trying to cut into the 21-15 lead. First one off the mark, no good. That's an 87% free throw shooter, missing the first one. She's got another one on the way. Second free throw is up, and Benny makes that one. It's a 5-point game, 21-16. Dordt basketball. Gustafson throws it into Hymanson. Hymanson picks it up in the corner. Comes back to Gustafson. Gustafson floats it over the top. Hymanson. Hymanson with a left hand. Cross gets it behind the back dribble. Lays it up with the right hand from the left side. Good. Dordt with a 7-point lead, 23-16, 1:15 left to play in the first period. So Dordt leading by 7, nearing the end of the first quarter. With the basketball is Madison Rogan. Throwing it up is Benny with a crossover move. Can't get it to go. In transition now is Sievers. Feeds it back to Hymanson on the wing. Nothing there. Back to Sievers. Pull up 12-footer. Missed it. No good. Rebound Kaparis. Kaparis off the glass. Good. Eliana Kaparis with a 2-point bucket. Dordt leads by 9, 25-16. 14 seconds remain difference. Shot clock and game clock. Deitzler down in the post. Kick out pass, 3, blocked, rebound, Gustafson. Hands it back over to Sievers. There's a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock as Sievers takes it across half court. Sievers with the basketball, Dordt with a 9-point lead, and a reach-in foul called out front on Slaughter. Peyton Slaughter whistled for the personal foul. That's her first. Hymanson will check out of the ball game. Nielsen will check in. Dordt's going to send McKenna Klecker into the game as well. Check Gustafson out. Trying to potentially, grab a little extra breather for the defenders. 2 free throws on the way for Sievers. Sievers is 28 of 35 this season. First free throw up and through. She's got 3 points. A second free throw on the way for Sievers. Sievers' free throw is up, and that one rolls home as well. So Sievers makes them both. It's 27-16, Dordt by 11. Nearing the end of the first quarter. Slaughter with the basketball. Pass goes left side, Benny. Benny trying to drive, right hand, puts it up. Shot no good, but a late foul called. And Benny will go to the free throw line where she is 3 for 4 today. Dordt by 11, 10.9 seconds remaining here in the period. Going to the free throw line to shoot 2 is Benny. She went 1 of 2 on her last trip. Makes that one, and she's got another one on the way. Trying to cut it back to single digits. It's 27-17 pending the free throw. And this one is up and good as well. So Benny makes both free throws. It's 27-18, Dordt by 9. Dordt inbounding. Klecker to throw it in. Pressure applied by the Chargers. See how the defenders handle it here. Pass comes in to Sievers. Sievers held on the play by Slaughter. No call made. Pass comes back over to Beckman. Beckman with it. Beckman back to Sievers. Ball fake. Throws it to Beckman. Beckman steps in. 3. Count it! 3-point basket for Bailey Beckman at the end of the first quarter, and the Dordt defenders lead it 30-18 as we head to the second period of play. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we'll be back with the second quarter of action right after this 1-minute timeout.
American State Bank is celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
Hi, I am Bill Harmson, head women's basketball coach at Dordt University. Thank you for watching this Dordt Media Network broadcast produced by the students at Dordt. We appreciate your support. Go Defenders!
The Dordt defenders with the lead as we head to the second quarter, 30-18. This Briar Cliff team allowing 62 points per game on average. And so they're going to want to tighten that up, obviously. Pass goes left side of the basketball. Slaughter in the lane. And we've got a foul called as the ball floats up into the air. It's going to be called on the defenders. And that will be against Eliana Caparis. That's foul number 1 on her. So foul number 1 called on Caparis. Briar Cliff inbounding the basketball. Right side of the lane as we face the hoop. Slaughter throws it into Deichler. Deichler trying to muscle her way up. And the shot no good. Rebound deflected. Picked up by Deichler. Shot no good. Rebound controlled by Gustafson. Carly with the basketball, hands it off to Sievers. Sievers into the front court, passes underneath to Caparis. Caparis can't finish, shot was blocked. Rebound controlled. Here comes Slaughter. Slaughter, 15-footer, missed it, no good. Rebound controlled by Sievers. Here come the defenders. Macy Sievers into the front court. Sievers with it on the right-hand side. Feeds out front. Gustafson shows it, decides against it. Now passes back over to Beckman. Beckman on the dribble. Beckman floats it up off the glass, too short, no good. Rebound taken away by Slaughter. Slaughter with the basketball. Slaughter comes back, right side, and driving in and finishing is Connor Sudman, and she's fouled. Sudman will get to the free throw line now to try and complete the three-point play. That that rebound moments ago, that was actually Peyton Wengert for Briar Cliff that reeled it in. Shot on the way for Sudman is up and good. Sudman with 6. And the Dordt lead is 30-21, 1 minute and 2 seconds into the second quarter. Gustafson will inbound the basketball left side of the lane as we face the hoop, but she can move after the missed shot. There was a dead ball. Pass to Gustafson. Gustafson, back it goes to Hymanson. Hymanson, 3 seconds to get it across and just does. Hymanson with it. Hymanson throws it cross court. Van Hollen. Van Hollen drops it down low for Schoenhoven. Back it goes to Gustafson. Schoenhoven off of the glass. Good. That's 8 for Schoenhoven. The assist to Gustafson. Dordt leading 30-21. And Bill Harmson's going to get up off of the bench as that official called by the official on the far side away from the ball, and that's probably what he's going to voice the displeasure with the most. Is you've got fouls coming from different zones now and does not engender confidence. Going to the free throw line will be Kennedy Benny. Benny shooting 2. Benny's first free throw up, good. Second one good as well. 32-23. Bill Harmson thought his team had done enough to get the stop, and then the foul came in late from well off of the ball. So the free throws for Briar Cliff. They dump it inside for Gustafson off of the glass, good. Carly Gustafson with a 2-point bucket. She's got 8. Dordt leads 34-23. Back the other way quickly is Kennedy Benny. Benny with a 2-point bucket. She's got 11. Here come the defenders leading 34-25. Hymanson with the basketball, guarded there by Slaughter. Hymanson with it. Hymanson dribbling with the right hand. I'm not sure she got the play call from Coach Harmson or not. Coach Harmson trying to get it, and we've got a foul called from behind against Deichler. And here, that's the way it's going to be. I mean, if they're going to start calling everything equally on both sides of the floor, Briar Cliff trying to be very physical on defense, and they have been. They're going to start getting called for some of those fouls, I believe. Van Hollen gets the ball inbounded to Hymanson. Hymanson floats it up in the lane. Shot no good. Rebound taken away by Wengert. Wengert over to Slaughter. Slaughter with the basketball. Slaughter hesitates, puts it up, blocked by Gustafson. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Dordt basketball. So Dordt basketball. Gustafson will inbound. This has been a high-intensity game so far. Matching up two teams that are towards the top of the standings, or at the top of the standings right now. Briar Cliff in a tie currently with Northwestern. Both are 9-2 at the moment. Dordt stands 10-1. Faith Van Holland off the dribble. Gets it back over to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven wants to give it up. She does to Gustafson. Gustafson, the give and go back to Schoenhoven, unable to finish. Ball trickles off of the rim, and here comes Doan. Briar Cliff. Sudman pass right side Wengert. Wengert, 3, missed, no good. Rebound taken away by Hymanson. Hymanson will bring it up. Hymanson up the floor, Beckman. She gets set, and she's going to be called for being on the sideline out of bounds. It'll be Briarcliff basketball. So Briarcliff whistled for the gets it back on the turnover after Beckman tried to get set on the sideline in transition, and here come the Chargers. Slaughter. Peyton Slaughter with the basketball. She passes right side to Benny. Benny with it. Benny looking down low for Slaughter. They throw it into Slaughter. Slaughter puts it on the floor, drives in, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. It'll be Briarcliff basketball. So Briarcliff with the basketball. Underneath. With 6:45 left to go in the first half. 34-25, defenders by 9. Chargers inbounding. Pass goes left side to Slaughter. Slaughter to Sudman. Sudman lost it. Shot is blocked, and Gustafson blocks it away. Here comes Sievers in transition. Sievers with the basketball on the right-hand side. Gustafson hits the floor, picks herself up, drives in, splits the defense, and draws the foul, and Carly will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Gustafson that time, it seemed like she just finally made a decision, enough of this nonsense, and put it on the floor. Foul is called against Deichler, and there comes the first call it both ways comment we've heard. And they have been. First free throw, no good by Gustafson. Yeah, these two teams primed today. They know what's on the line. You start getting into the second half of the conference season. This is a big game. Gustafson makes 1 of 2, and the defenders lead 35-25. Dordt wins today. They've got a 2-game lead on the Chargers, who I'm still not convinced they aren't the second best team in the league, if not the best. Shot up and through. A 2-point bucket for the Chargers, and Dordt leads 35-27. Into the corner, Nielsen. Nielsen missed it. No good. Rebound, Klecker. Back to Beckman. 3-ball on the way. Got it! The three-pointer is good, but a foul called on the rebound. That's going to go against Macy Sievers, I believe. Well, they're going to call it on Klecker, beg your pardon. That's number 2 on Klecker, but you count the 3 for Beckman. 38-27, Dordt back in front by 11. And Eliana Caparis is in the game for Carly Gustafson. Klein Hesselink is on the floor for Briarcliff. I hadn't expected to see Malia, but she is. Freshman from Sheldon, Iowa. Younger sister of one of the men's basketball players. Pass out front, it's taken away by Nielsen. Nielsen comes over to Sievers. Sievers with the basketball. Sievers left-hand side to Beckman. Beckman with the basketball out front. Beckman crosses over, stops, looks, pocket pass for Caparis, and she's fouled on the play. So Caparis will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 5:32 remaining in the first half. Well, my new broadcast location, these are the kind of days that it tests my patience. Not going to be, I will leave it at that. Caparis, first free throw up and good. Used to be I was away from the action, down by the floor. You didn't see some of the antics up in the crowd. Now I do. Caparis misses the first free throw. She's got another one on the way. The Dordt defenders will be shooting a free throw when we resume play right after this. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
the DeWitt Gym, where the Dordt defenders have a 38-27 lead, and Eliana Caparas. Eliana Caparas will go to the free throw line to shoot her second free throw. Missed the first one, trying to extend this to a 12-point lead. So Caparas with another one on the way. Yep, everybody's primed. Everybody had another 2 hours to wait for this one, too. And it's been high intensity thus far. Caparas bangs the free throw off the heel of the rim, no good. And Eliana unable to extend the lead. Here come the Chargers with the basketball. Sudman. They throw it down low for Klein Hesslink, and it's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. It will be Briarcliff basketball. Malia Klein Hesslink pressed into duty. We'll get you her numbers in just a little bit. If she stays in the ball game for an extended period, she probably will. Down to the right baseline is Slaughter. Briarcliff dealing with some foul issues right now. Slaughter taking it in against Nielsen. Off the glass, no good. Rebound taken away by Sievers. Sievers in transition. Macy with the basketball. Sidesteps a player, gives it up Van Hollen. Van Hollen with it. Back to Macy. 3, too strong, no good. Rebound controlled by Briarcliff. Here come the Chargers back the other way. Slaughter throws it ahead. This is Sudman. Sudman cut off. Throw it into the corner. 3 ball on the way. Miss, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. It'll be Briarcliff basketball. So Briarcliff inbounding the basketball. I'm looking for Klein Hesslink's numbers. She has played in 8 games. Gets the pass down low, working against Caparas. Klein Hesslink with the left hand gets it to go. Malia Klein Hesslink with a 2-point bucket. It's 38-29. Beckman in transition. Stops, pops, no good. Gets her own rebound back. Sievers over to Nielsen. 3 ball on the way, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled by Briarcliff. Briarcliff with the basketball and a chance to cut into the 9-point lead now. And we're going to have a charging foul called on Slaughter. And Peyton Slaughter, I believe, has just picked up her third as well. She gets her money's worth usually when she gets the foul call. So Briarcliff going to the bench, forced to because of some foul issues. Slaughter with 3, Deichler with 3, and Wangert out there with 2 right now. Dordt basketball, 4:20 left to go in the half. With it on the right-hand side is Sievers, goes to Hymanson. Dordt has led by as many as 11, unable to extend it beyond that. Schoenhoven back out front, it goes Sievers. Sievers inside the circle. Tries to bounce pass down low to Schoenhoven, and Schoenhoven unable to reach the entry pass. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. It will be Briarcliff basketball. Briarcliff basketball. So the Chargers with it, down by 9. With it out front, this is Sudman. Sudman, kick out pass back. Goes left side, 3 on the way is good for Sudman. So Sudman with the 3. She's got 9 points, and the Dordt lead is 38-32. Sievers with it at the free throw line. Comes back left side, Hymanson. Hymanson with it, gets a screen from Gustafson. Schoenhoven back to Hymanson. 3 ball, no good. And the rebound controlled by Briarcliff, and Dordt unable to get the ball inside. And they're missing outside shots right now, and Briarcliff trying to cut the 6-point lead. What was an 11-point lead down even further. It's at 6 right now. Sudman at the free throw line, throws it into the corner. Shot by Benny, missed, no good. A rebound latched onto by Schoenhoven, and Dordt wants a timeout. Timeout on the floor, charged to the defenders. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
At Premier Communications, we're all about connection. Connecting you to all the entertainment, work, and family you love with our phone, internet, cable TV, and tech support services. And now, that connection has gotten even faster with internet speeds up to 1 gig. Experience the next level of connection with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call toll-free 800-741-8351. Premier Communications, looking ahead.
Length of the floor in front of them. Van Holland will throw it in. Van Holland gets it into Sievers. Sievers takes it across the timeline. Sievers with it, setting the offense. Passes to Gustafson. Gustafson with the basketball to Van Holland. Dordt by 6, 2:50 and counting, first half. Gustafson up off the glass, good. Count the hoop, and she is fouled. And the Dordt defenders may have spent that timeout talking about the fact we've got an advantage in the post if you're Dordt. Let's try to take advantage of it, and they did that time with a dump down to Gustafson. Gustafson free throw, splash. 41-32. Dordt stops the run by the Chargers at 5. Chargers with the basketball. Flipping it up with the right hand from the left side, no good, but a foul on the play called on Van Holland. Van Holland whistled for her second personal. And free throws coming for Sudman. Sudman fouled in the act of shooting. Sudman started from the right-hand wing, was able to go all the way through the lane, and then came back with the inside hand and drew the foul. 2:39 left to go here in the first half. Sudman's second free throw off the heel, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Dordt. It's 41-33. Defenders by 8 with the basketball. They give it up Sievers, throw it inside to Gustafson, squares up against Klein Hesselink, throws it back out front for Beckman. Beckman with the basketball, backs it out to the center jump circle. Gets a ball screen, left side, back to Gustafson, straight on triple, off the mark, no good. And the rebound controlled by Wengert. Wengert with the basketball. Wengert gives it up to Held. Held up the floor. Held with it on the right-hand side. Goes back to Klein Hesselink. Klein Hesselink trying to go to work against Gustafson. Her shot no good. And the rebound taken away by the defender. Sievers in transition. Sievers passes left side to Hymanson. Hymanson, Gustafson on the left wing. Gustafson spins, finishes with the left hand, good. Carley with a 2-point bucket. Dordt leads by 10, 43-33. Down to the baseline and a foul called on Van Holland, and that's 3 on Faith. Faith whistled for the personal foul on the drive, and that's team foul number 5 against the defenders. Actually, it's team foul number 6 against the defenders in this period, so it's bonus time for Briar Cliff. So Sudman 3 for 3 from the free throw line. 85% free throw shooter, beg your pardon. She missed her last trip and now misses another. That's a rarity. I have her as 2 for 4, I believe, from the free throw line. This one's up and through. Not going to miss too many. Sudman probably has missed about a month's worth this afternoon. Got 2 missed free throws, and now the Dordt defenders will inbound, leading by 9, looking to build on the lead. Up the floor with it. Beckman has it poked away. So far in this contest, just give you some comparatives. When we have a moment, we'll do that. Dordt with a basketball. Pass comes out front, Sievers. Sievers to Gustafson. Gustafson with it, right-hand side, Klecker. Klecker looks for the curl to Sievers, instead to Gustafson, 1:20 remaining. 7 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Beckman able to split the defense, everything but the finish for Beckman. Now stolen by Sievers, back to Beckman. Beckman with the finish. Bailey Beckman with a 2-point bucket, and the defenders match their biggest lead at 45-34. 45-34, driving in, and the shot falls off the rim, no good, but Connor Sudman will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 more free throws. McKenna Klecker whistled for the personal. She picks up number 3. Well, Dordt trying to protect Janie Skonoven. She's got a pair. Macy Sievers also with a pair. And going to the free throw line is Sudman. She makes the first. She's got another one coming. Sudman today, 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. And 5 of 7 45-36 our score. Dordt leading by 9. Defenders for the basketball. Gustafson gets it ahead to Sievers. Under a minute to go in the first half. So the defenders leading by 9. Sievers setting up the offense. She's got it at the top of the key. Left side Beckman looking underneath for Gustafson. Gets a screen. Back outside it goes Nielsen. Nielsen over the basketball. Back to Sievers. 10 to shoot for the defenders. Sievers splits the defense into the corner. A shot, Hymanson, no good. Rebound taken away by Sievers. Dordt with a fresh 20. Sievers with the basketball, backs it out. Sievers in between the circles, looking from the bench. Now 10 to shoot. Pass goes in high post, Gustafson, 6 to shoot. Gustafson off the glass, good. Carly Gustafson with a 2. Dordt leading 47-36. Here come the Chargers. Chargers with it into the front court, Benny. Benny floats it up, gets it to go off of the glass, and that's going to be the final points of the first half. Dordt leads 47-38 at halftime of this women's GPAC basketball contest. 47-38, Dordt by 9. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with a recap of the first half of action from the DeWitt Gym right after this 2-minute timeout.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy.
Thanks, Carter. (47-38), the Dordt defenders leading by 9 at halftime of this Great Plains Athletic Conference tussle. And let's go ahead and run the highlights as we recap the first half of play. I was inadvertently or incorrectly saying Dordt's biggest lead was 11. They actually led by 12, 30-18 at the end of the first quarter. Hayden Hymanson got an early 3 to go and then got a couple of driving baskets as well. Dordt has trailed once in this one so far. That was at 2-1. Briarcliff Chargers defensive pressure though paying dividends. Kennedy Benny with 13 first half points. Defenders got a buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter to extend their lead to that 12 points I was talking about. And the Briarcliff Chargers also a late turnover, costly, as Bailey Beckman got her third field goal of the day. She's got 9, and the defenders lead 47-38 at halftime. The Dordt defenders have led by as many as 12. That was at 30-18. Much of the second quarter played at a 7-11 point difference, except for when Briarcliff went on a 5-point run to cut it from 38-27 down to 38-32. Dordt was able to reestablish order. They got a three-point basket to extend it to 41-32, and then the rest of the quarter played at a 9 or 11-point difference, with Dordt leading by 9 at halftime, 47-38. It'll be Dordt basketball when the second half begins. The defenders so far 17 of 34 from the floor, 50%, while the Briarcliff Chargers are 11 of 30 for 37%. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with a rundown of all the numbers from the first half of play. Right after this, you're listening to Dordt basketball on KIHK and watching on the Dordt Media Network.
Hello fans of Defender Sports, hope you're enjoying the game whether you're a friend or family member of a player or coach or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice and it shows. But going into each and every game, there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has, and that's a game plan. If these players and coaches are willing to put this much time into planning for a game, how much more important is putting together a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, but if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, we've been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things more important than finances, while being good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to their care. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media. Check out our podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or your favorite podcast app, or schedule a complimentary meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. Enjoy the rest of the game and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money.
Here are the numbers from the first half. We begin with the team totals. Dordt 17 of 34 in women's play. From the field, 50%, 3 for 10 on threes, 30%, 10 of 14 from the free throw line, 71%. Dordt has a 2018 rebounding edge. Turnovers, Briarcliff has 5, and the Dordt defenders have 4. For the Briarcliff Chargers, 11 of 30 from the floor, 37%, 2 for 7 on threes, 29%, and 14 of 17 from the free throw line for 82%. Dordt led individually by Carly Gustafson, 16 points, 6 of 7 from the floor so far. Bailey Beckman with 9. 8 for Janie Schoenhoven, 3 for 4 from the floor. Hayden Hymanson, 8 points. She has a 3-pointer and a couple of 2-pointers. And off of the bench, Macy Sievers with 4 and Eliana Caparis with 2. For the Briarcliff Chargers, Kennedy Benny and Connor Sudman with 13 each. Peyton Wengert hasn't scored. Peyton Slaughter has 2. Madeline Deichler has 4. Rachel Langle with 2 points. Malia Klein-Hesslink with 4. Foul trouble, that is a story. Dordt has 1 player with 3. That's McKenna Klecker. And a slew of players with 2 each. Van Holland, Schoenhoven, Nielsen, Caparis, all with 2. For the Chargers, Peyton Slaughter and Madeline Deichler both with 3, and Peyton Wengert has 2. Nobody else with more than 1. Other statistics, rebounds, Macy Sievers with a team-high 6 rebounds so far for Dordt. And Madeline Deichler has 4 rebounds for the Chargers. 2 steals for the defenders. Nielsen and Sievers have 1 each. And the Briarcliff Chargers have 1 steal. That was from Kennedy Benny. Carly Gustafson credited with a couple of blocked shots so far. You're listening to Dordt basketball on KIHK, Rock Valley Sioux Center. And we're watching on the Dordt Media Network. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with a rundown of what else is happening in the conference. Women's games in the books, men's games into the second half. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. Back with more right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
And brought to you by Furniture Mart. Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, window treatments at your local Furniture Mart, family owned and located downtown Sioux Center.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And today's broadcast sponsored by Ployne Publishing. Quality printing from design to delivery.
We are at halftime, and the Dordt Defenders have a 47-38 lead in women's basketball. Our game getting started 2 hours later than normal because of the indoor track and field meet hosted by the Defenders at the Rec Center. That allows for a little less pressure on the facility and also on support staff. So that means we've got 4 women's games already in the books. They include Morningside defeating Doane 78-63. College of St. Mary beating Hastings 66-63. Jamestown drops Concordia 79-72. And it's Northwestern leading Midland beating Midland 84-51. Conference standings then at the moment. Dordt's 10-1, Briar Cliff's 9-2. Both of those will change when this one is complete. Northwestern is 9-2. Jamestown is 8-4. Concordia is 8-5. Morningside 7-5. Dakota Wesleyan 5-5. Doane 5-7. Hastings 4-8. Mount Marty 2-10. College of St. Mary 2-10. Midland is 1-11. Men's games underway, all in the second half. None of them really close. Morningside leads Doane by 11, 46-35. Jamestown leads Concordia 41-24, and Northwestern leads Midland in men's play 47-34. Mount Marty and Dakota Wesleyan, they'll play tomorrow at the Corn Palace. It's a big high school basketball weekend there yesterday and today, and they shoved the college basketball games to Sunday afternoon in Mitchell. Let's take a 2-minute break. Be back with the start of the second half in 2 minutes.
Hi, I am Bill Harmson, head women's basketball coach at Dordt University. Thank you for watching this Dordt Media Network broadcast produced by the students at Dordt. We appreciate your support. Go Defenders!
We head back into action. Second half play. The Dordt Defenders leading Briar Cliff 47-38 with the basketball. Hymanson with it. Hymanson picks up her dribble, comes to Van Holland. And now the Briar Cliff Chargers changing up their defense just a little bit. Hymanson trying for the backdoor cut and stepping in the Briar Cliff Chargers, Kennedy Benny. Benny gets it away, Sudman. Left-hand pass goes over to Slaughter. Slaughter puts up a three, missed it, no good, and the rebound is taken away by Hymanson. Hymanson up the floor to Beckman. Beckman splits the defense, nothing there. Van Holland picks up the dribble, now throws it right side back over to Beckman on the wing. Beckman with the basketball at the top of the key, right side Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven, Gustafson. Gustafson with the left hand, shot no good, but a foul on the play called on the Briar Cliff Chargers. That's going to go on Klein Hesslink. That's number 2 on her. And the Briar Cliff Chargers electing to leave Madeline Deichler on the bench to start the second half. She's got the 3 personals. First free throw is up and good for Gustafson. She's got 16. And another free throw on the way for Gustafson. That one's up and good. So Dordt back up by 11, 49-38. Gustafson with the 2 free throws. Left side drive is Sudman, and Sudman's going to be called for a charge. Connor Sudman whistled for the charge, her second foul. Took Greg Durham just a little while to pull the trigger, but he did, calling the charge. Aaron Duker, Jeremy McHugh, and Greg Durham on the whistle today. It's been a testy one, and the Dordt defenders unable to inbound it cleanly. Ball deflects off of Beckman's fingers and out of bounds. It'll be Briar Cliff basketball. Sometimes that pressure defense has a cumulative effect, and I think that time it did. Klein Hesslink against Schoenhoven, picks up her dribble, goes back to Sudman. Sudman against Hymanson. Sudman back outside. Slaughter, beg your pardon, that is Wingert. They look for the backdoor cut, instead come back right side to Slaughter. Slaughter throws it down into the post to Klein Hesslink. Klein Hesslink with the hook shot, no good, and the rebound cleared by Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with the basketball, back over to Hymanson. Hymanson up the floor, and Deichler will check in after 90 seconds. She'll get to the bench. Next dead ball she'll check in, my guess would be for Klein Hesslink. Hymanson with it, Dordt with an 11-point lead. They throw it down into the post. Gustafson held her pivot foot. Now she drives in, and she is fouled on the play. Knocked to the ground by Malia Klein Hesslink. And Klein Hesslink, with fouls to give, picks up her 3rd personal foul. And there is a part of me that thinks that may have been the Briar Cliff game plan, is just, okay, let's get a couple fouls out of the way. And Malia Klein Hesslink is going to pick them up. Now you bring Deichler into the game, and maybe the fouls aren't coming quite as easily at this point. Hymanson with it on the wing. Hymanson backs it out, packs it back over to Beckman. 8 to shoot for the defenders. Beckman pulls up, 17-footer off the front iron, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Sudman. Sudman with it. Sudman right side, Benny. Benny spins it back out for Slaughter. Slaughter 3, missed, no good. Rebound deflected, picked up by Slaughter, lost it on the way up. Slaughter lost it. Beckman picks it up. Beckman stops. 12-footer. Good. Bailey Beckman with a 2-point bucket. Dordt by a baker's dozen, 51-38. Driving in Benny. Benny crossover move. Her shot no good, but a foul on the play. So Benny will go to the free throw line and shoot more free throws. She is 7 of 8 so far from the free throw line, so 7 of her 13 coming from the charity stripe, and she'll have 2 more chances here. It's a 13-point Dordt lead. First free throw rattles, no good for Benny. This Briarcliff team as a group converting 72% of their free throws, but 2 of their leading free throw shooters, Benny and Sudman, are above 85%. But here's the caveat. Benny just missed both of those free throws. 7:20 left to go in the game in the third quarter. Van Hollen with it. Van Hollen, back it goes, left side. Hymanson directing traffic. Throws it down low for Gustafson, and Gustafson is fouled on the play by Deichler. That's number 4 on Deichler. So Deichler picks up her 4th. Decision time now for Brian Ortmeyer on the Briarcliff bench. Caparis will check in for Schoenhoven. Gustafson will shoot 2 free throws. 17 points for Gustafson, and Briarcliff is going to have to check Deichler out. Rachel Langle checks in, and for the Chargers, you just want to try to keep it at this difference and maybe cut into it a little bit. You're going to have to bring Deichler back at some point, though, averaging 14.8 points per game. First free throw, no good for Gustafson. Deichler with 4 points so far, coming off a 16-point performance against the Jamestown Jimmies. Gustafson makes 1 of 2, and the defender lead is 52-38. A drive into the lane, and Wangert drives in and gets fouled on the play. And Carly Gustafson has just been whistled for her first personal foul. So Wangert will shoot 2. Wangert has not scored this week. She was held scoreless against Jamestown. Misses that free throw. 73% free throw shooter, and this one's up and good. She gets her first point of the day. 52-39 our score. Dordt with the basketball. In the backcourt, Beckman. Beckman circles around, brings it up the floor. Trapped, and it goes out of bounds by Benny. Last touch by the Chargers. It'll be Dordt basketball. Throwing the ball in will be Gustafson. Gustafson gets it into Beckman. 6:50 and counting, third quarter. Dordt by Baker's dozen. Beckman hands it back over to Hymanson. Hymanson with the ball. Hymanson on the left-hand side. Caparis, 7 to shoot. Back it goes Gustafson. Gustafson wraps it around for Caparis. Caparis shot no good. Rebound, good. Caparis didn't get the first one, but gets the second one. Dordt leads by 14, 53-39. Wangert shows it, drives in, flips it up with the right hand, good. Peyton Wangert with 3, and the defender lead is 53-41. Shot no good, and a rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt, they say. It'll be Briarcliff basketball. So Dordt by 12, 54-41. I'm not sure that that's correct. Well, that's what they got up on the board, and that's what they have in the stats, the live stats as well. So we'll take the 13-point difference right now. Dordt leading. Langle goes left side, Benny. Benny to Wangert. Wangert dribbles it off of her foot, picked up by Caparis. Caparis gives it off to Sievers. Sievers up the floor. Sievers with the left-handed drive, drops it off for Caparis, off the glass, good. Caparis with 2 as Sievers drops it in her lap. 56-41, defenders leading. Driving in right side, shot from the baseline, splash, Connor Sudman. Sudman with 15, and the defender lead is 56-43. 5:35 left to go in the quarter. That's the third period of play. Dordt leading. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 60 seconds. Let's get to the free throw line. Defenders will have the basketball when we resume play. Today's broadcast brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. You can visit them at wirelessworld.com. They also bring you the pregame and postgame shows on the Dordt Media Network and here on KIHK Radio. Glad to have you along with me on this Saturday afternoon. 5.5 left to go in the third quarter. Beckman with the basketball. Beckman pivots, double team. Back it goes Nielsen. Extra pass into Klecker. Klecker with the basketball on the wing. 14 to shoot for the defenders. Sievers with it. Backs it out. Now tries it again. Into the corner Nielsen. 9 to shoot. Back to Sievers. 7 to shoot. Sievers back to Caparis, and Caparis has it stripped away from her and off of her foot and out of bounds. It'll be Briarcliff basketball. So Briarcliff inbounding the basketball. Peyton Slaughter will take it up the floor. Slaughter with it. Slaughter passes right side to Sudman. Sudman driving in and a blocking foul called on Eliana Caparis. And a three-point play opportunity coming here for Sudman. Sudman with 17, and the Dordt lead has been whittled down to 11 again, pending a free throw. Gustafson and Hymanson are back in. Sudman is shooting a free throw. Sudman with 17. She's got team honors. Gustafson has game honors with 19. And Sudman makes the free throw. She's got 18 now. 56-46, defenders by 10. Sievers with the basketball on the right-hand side. Picks it up, goes over to Gustafson. Gustafson, right-hand side, it goes Klecker. Klecker to Sievers. Sievers back to Gustafson. Gustafson reverse layup, and Carly Gustafson, she came to play today. 58-46, 12-point lead for the defenders. Let's see if they can get a stop. Looking down low, Sudman now gets a ball screen. Langle spins off of it. Sudman in the lane. Her shot is good. Sudman, nice offensive player. Pass goes in. Hymanson. Hymanson will bring it up the floor. Hymanson on the left-hand side, all the way down to the baseline, cut off there by Benny. Throws it back for Gustafson. Gustafson back outside. Hymanson. Hymanson floats it up off the glass, no good. Gets her own rebound. Back shot, no good. And the rebound is tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Briarcliff. It'll be Dordt basketball with 4:01 left to play in the third period. Back into the game for Briarcliff is Kagan Held. And throwing it in will be Sievers. Sievers looking, still looking. Secondary gets it to Nielsen, and Nielsen is fouled on the play as she flips it up. Connor Sudman whistled for the personal, her third, and Macy Nielsen. This is almost like an eclipse. Macy Nielsen going to the free throw line. She's 1 of 2 so far this season. That's what happens when you spend most of your time out on the perimeter. So 2 free throws on the way for the junior from Sioux Falls. First one is up and good. That's her first point of the day. Another one on the way for Nielsen. By the way, she was 1 of 2 entering play today, and she goes 1 of 2 on that trip. 59-48, here come the Chargers. Right-hand side, Sudman. Sudman with a basketball. Sudman puts it on the deck, fires it cross court, deflected, picked up by Wangert. Wangert driving in, and a blocking foul called on McKenna Klecker. That's foul number 4 on the defenders in this period. Foul came before any shot. They're going to give her shots on the play. She must have been in the motion going up. So free throws coming here for Wangert. So Wangert will shoot 2. She's 1 of 2 so far today. Briarcliff trying to trim the lead back to single digits. First one no good for Wangert. Another one on the way for Wangert, trying to bring it now back to a 10-point lead. That rebound came off long. Second one is up, and that one is good. So Wangert goes 1 of 2 for the second time today. And the Dordt lead is 10, 59-49. Into the lane, Sievers goes right side. Hymanson with it out front. Schoenhoven. Corner. Gustafson, Sievers, ball overhead inside to Carly. Carly in traffic, knocked to the floor, shot no good, and the rebound taken away by Sudman. Sudman with the basketball. Sudman off balance, and Connor Sudman with the 2. And the Dordt lead is 59-51. Into the front court, Sievers. Sievers, Gustafson, back outside Hymanson, answering 3, in and out, no good. Halfway down, pops out, and here come the Chargers with a chance to cut into the 8-point lead. Held with the basketball. Held, throws it left side. Sudman. Sudman trying to will her team back into the game. And Hymanson's going to be called for a foul on the screen. Connor Sudman, that's going to be Peyton Wengert going to the free throw line to shoot 2. So Wengert with 4 points all in the second half. She'll go to the free throw line. Hymanson just got called for foul number 1. Dordt leading by 8, 59-51. Briar Cliff putting together a charge. First free throw up and good for Wengert. Wengert spent her first 4 years at Midland, using up her COVID season here at Briar Cliff, and she makes both of them, 59-53. So Wengert now 4 of 6, Dordt by 6, 2:45 and counting, third quarter. Driving in, Sievers, back to Beckman. Beckman rocks into the drive. Pull up, good. Bailey Beckman with 13. Dordt leads 61-53. 2.5 left to go, third quarter. Dordt by 8. Briar Cliff basketball. Driving in. Shot no good off the bottom of the rim. Rebound taken away by Sievers. Here comes Dordt. They don't have the numbers. Sievers does not have the number, so she gives it to the trailer. Gustafson shows it, drives into the lane, off of the glass, no good, gets her own rebound back, shot no good. There for the rebound and the putback, Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven and Gustafson, that time a couple of offensive rebounds, and now Briar Cliff turns it over, and Dordt can get the lead back into a little more substantial. It was down to 6 moments ago at 59-53. Back-to-back buckets for the defenders have made it 63-53, and Dordt now has the basketball inbounding in the backcourt. This is not an easy proposition, though. Briar Cliff has put some pressure on. They get it ahead to Sievers. Sievers on a jailbreak. Sievers drops it off for Caparis. Nothing there for Caparis. Back out front. Gives it up Hymanson. Right side Beckman. 1:50 left to go in the quarter. With the basketball, Beckman tests the waters, stops, nothing there. Caparis, 9 to shoot. Comes back to Hymanson, 6 to shoot. Back it goes Sievers, it's taken away. Briar Cliff on the run out. Slaughter missed it. Rebound taken away by the defenders, so Slaughter misses the layup. Sievers the other way, layup good. Macy Sievers, nobody stopped the ball, and the Dordt defenders lead by a dozen, 65-53. Oh, how often do you miss a layup on one end and you give one up on the other end? 65-53. Dordt with a 12-point lead. Here come the Chargers again. Sudman off the dribble. Sudman on the right elbow. Kick out pass, Wengert. Wengert, 3, good. Wengert with the 3. She's coming alive here in the second half after breaking out of a slump. She was scoreless against Jamestown. She's got 9 here in the second half. Dordt leading 65-56. Under a minute to go in the period. Dort's going to use a timeout. Dordt has 3 timeouts remaining. They'll use one here to save the possession. This will be a 30-second timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll be back with more in 30 seconds. Dordt with the basketball, 15 seconds on the shot clock, 42.8 seconds left to go on the game clock here in the third period, and Dordt's inbounding. Beckman gets it into Sievers. Sievers with the right hand, gets a screen out front, Macy picks up her dribble, fires it back to Beckman. Ball fake. Beckman, shot, no good from the perimeter, but a foul on the play called on the Chargers. Bailey Beckman will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And that is foul number 4 called on the Chargers and Malia Klein-Hessling. So Beckman shooting a pair. Now was that on Klein-Hessling? I didn't think she was on the ball, but so Klein-Hessling is whistled for foul number 4. Beckman to the free throw line. First one good for Beck. She's got 14. Another one on the way for Beckman, trying to extend it to an 11-point ball game. 33.5 seconds left to go here in the period, and the Briarcliff Chargers clear the missed shot. Rebound cleared. Sievers poking at it. Slaughter dribbling. Slaughter gets a seam, throws it into the corner. Wengert, another 3, good. Looked like it was long out of the hand, but it knocks down off the backside of the iron. And the Dordt lead is 66-59. 7-point lead for the defenders. Driving in Sievers. Sievers, Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. Beckman pull up, 15-footer, good. Bailey Beckman with her second buzzer beater. And the Dordt defender lead stays at 9. That's where we were at halftime. It grew to as many as 15. It's back to 9. And that's how we head into the fourth quarter. Dordt leading 68-59. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter of play right after this. We head into the fourth quarter. Briarcliff will have the basketball. This broadcast brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. You can visit them at wirelessworld.com. The Dordt defenders leading by 9. It'll be Briarcliff basketball as we start the fourth quarter of play. Original starting 5 on the floor for both teams. So the Briarcliff Chargers with the basketball, Peyton Slaughter. Slaughter gives it off Sudman. Sudman put this team on her back in the third quarter. Downhill is Benny, and Benny shot no good, but a foul on the play called on Schoenhoven, and Benny will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. For Schoenhoven, that is her 4th. Well, both teams needing to navigate foul trouble, contrary to what some may believe. Both teams having to deal with it. Actually, 19 fouls called on each squad, dead even. First free throw, no good. And that, to me, shows the physicality of this game and the intensity. Second free throw for Benny, up. This one is good. Benny with 14, her first of the second half. And the Dordt lead is 68-60. 9:40 and counting in regulation. Drop it off inside for Hymanson. Back to Beckman. Beckman 3-ball on the way. Hangs on the rim, won't go through. Rebound cleared by Gustafson, and Gustafson is fouled on the play. I think it's going to go on Peyton Slaughter. It will. And that's number 4 on Slaughter. Gustafson will go to the free throw line to try to add to her 21 points. Foul number 4 on Slaughter, so both teams with key players with 4 fouls. Schoenhoven and Klecker with 4 each for the defenders. Slaughter and Deichler and Klein Hesslink with 4 each for the Chargers. Gustafson makes both free throws, and Slaughter will check out. Held will check in. 23 points now for Gustafson. Gustafson today from the charity stripe, 9 of 11. Benny driving in, and a foul called before the shot. That's going to go on Hayden Hymanson. Hymanson whistled for foul number 2, and that's team foul number 2 on the defenders in this quarter. So Briarcliff will inbound the basketball. Pass comes in, right side, baseline jumper held, 2-point bucket, good. 70 to 62. Dordt with a 8-point lead again. With the basketball is Sievers. Sievers gives it up. Out front, right side now Hymanson, 15 to shoot. Hymanson waves off a ball screen. Hayden picks up her dribble, dumps it into Gustafson. Reversal Sievers. Sievers, ball fake, gets it to Beckman. Beckman's layup good. Bailey Beckman with the 2. Dordt leads 72 to 62. 8:40 remaining, ball game. Left side pass goes to Benny. Benny driving in. Benny loses it on the way up. It's blocked out of bounds by Gustafson. Not sure she'll get credit for another blocked shot there or not. That last layup set up by Sievers and her drive. Sievers with 4 assists now. Pass over the top. Deichler. Deichler, 17-footer, good. Deichler with the 2. She's got 6. She's been dealing with foul trouble much of the ball game. Sievers with the dribble, picks it up, passes back over to Beckman. Beckman with the basketball. Beckman left side Hymanson. Hymanson puts it on the deck. Hymanson throws it into the corner. Beckman, 13 to shoot for the defenders. Beckman thought about the triple. Instead goes back over to Van Hollen. Van Hollen back to Beckman, 7 to shoot. Beckman pulls up. Gustafson shows it into the lane. Little hook shot, good. 2-point basket on the spin back to the right over the left shoulder for Gustafson. And the defenders lead by 10, 74 to 64. Briarcliff, Benny, and we have a foul called away from the ball as Slaughter hits the floor. And that's foul number 3 called on Hayden Hymanson. So Hymanson whistled for her 3rd. Dordt by 10, 7:46 remaining. Pass goes into Benny. Benny to Wenger. Wenger, left side Sudman, guarded by Sievers. Sudman, nothing there, cut off at the elbow. Now top of the key, Wenger, no good. Rebound Gustafson. Gustafson with the basketball, gives it off to Sievers. Sievers ahead of the pack now. Left side Hymanson, and Hymanson is fouled on the play. That's going to go against Held, and for Held, that's number 1. So Kagan Held whistled for the personal foul. Hayden Hymanson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. It's team foul number 2 on the Chargers here in this 4th quarter. Hymanson shooting a pair, trying to extend the lead. First one for Hayden, up and down. Hayden, a 56% free throw shooter this season, but 75% in conference games. Second free throw is on the way. It's up, and Hymanson bottoms them both out. 10 points for Hayden Hymanson. She had 10 in the first half. 76-64. Briarcliff basketball on the right-hand side, Sudman. Sudman at the free throw line, driving in. Her shot no good. There for the rebound and the putback, though, is Madeline Deichler, and Deichler with the 2. Dordt leading 76-66. Briarcliff will use a timeout. They have 1 remaining after they utilize this one. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds. And the ball is inbounded to Hymanson. Briarcliff brings pressure defense. Hymanson tries to step through. Dordt has a person open, and it's deflected, picked up by Klecker. Klecker over to Sievers, right-hand side Hymanson, and Dordt will set the offense. So the Dordt defenders for the basketball, 12 to shoot. Sievers picks up her dribble, and it's stripped by Benny. Here comes Briarcliff. Briarcliff driving in, and a foul called, and the shot's going to count, and Kennedy Benny will go to the free throw line for a three-point play opportunity. So Dordt leading by 8, 76-68, pending the free throw. So Briarcliff able to get to the free throw line. Shot, free throw, missed, no good, and Dordt's lead is still 8. It was 12 moments ago. And right now it stands at 8, 76-68. Klecker with the basketball, Sievers. Sievers into the lane. Sievers spins, ball's down on the floor, picks it up, comes back over to Klecker. 3 ball on the way. Bang, bang, bang! McKenna Klecker, how do you do? Right-hand side, knocks down the triple. Dordt leads by 11, 79-68. With it on the right-hand side, Deichler. Deichler with the basketball. Drops it off Sudman. Sudman back over to Deichler. Deichler two-pointer, good. 79-70. Dordt with the lead and the basketball. 6 minutes remaining. Right-hand side, Hymanson. They'll invite her to shoot. She misses it. No good. Rebound long. Taken away by Kagan Held. Held with the basketball. Gives it up. Shot no good by Benny. Here comes Dordt back the other way. Dordt with the basketball. Dordt into the front court. Sievers splits the defense. Nielsen 3, missed it, no good. Rebound tapped by Schoenhoven momentarily, and here come the Chargers. Chargers back the other way. Sudman. Sudman with it on the left wing. 5.5 left to go in the game. Sudman picks up her dribble. Comes back over to Held. Held on the left wing. Held picks up her dribble. Top of the key 3, missed, no good. Rebound tapped and controlled by Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with the basketball. Both teams winded right now. Dordt's got 3 timeouts left. Briarcliff has 1. Dordt will be on the, Briarcliff will be on the bonus at the next foul. Sievers with the basketball, gets a ball screen. Comes back right side, Nielsen. Nielsen with the basketball, back to Sievers. 5 minutes to go, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Klecker, another one, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled by Briarcliff and Sudman. Sudman with it, Sudman up the floor. Transition 3, missed, no good. Rebound cleared by Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with the basketball, gets it ahead to Hymanson. Hymanson with the basketball across the timeline. Dordt will set the offense. Trying to take a little bit of time off of the clock. We haven't had a stoppage for a while now. Hymanson goes back left side. Nielsen. Nielsen picks up her dribble. Nielsen, back it goes. Hymanson, 10 to shoot. Hymanson into the lane. Sievers, 3 ball, no good. Rebound long, picked up by Schoenhoven. Dordt will work it outside again. A fresh shot clock to work with. Fresh 20 to work with. With it out front, Hymanson. Dordt by 9. Wouldn't be surprised if Dordt gets a bucket here. They call a timeout. Schoenhoven jumper, rims off, no good. Here comes Briarcliff in transition, trying to press the issue. Benny. Benny with it, the trail to Held, and Held. We've got a foul. Foul called on Benny. That's number 2 on her. Both teams with 3 players checking into the game, and we've played the last couple of minutes without either team scoring. The last field goal came, I know you want to know this. Just takes me a little while to find it. The last field goal came, at the 6:09 mark. So we went over 2 minutes. We've gone over 2 minutes without a score. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Dordt with a lead in the basketball. Sievers underneath Schoenhoven. Sconey with the 2. Janie Schoenhoven with 12. Dordt leads 81-70. That ends the drought for both teams at about 2.5 minutes. Dordt by double digits. Briarcliff basketball. Sudman passes right side, Klein Hesslink. Klein Hesslink with the triple. Malia Klein Hesslink with the 3. Dordt leads 81-73. In the backcourt is Gustafson. She'll take it across the timeline. Now looks for Sievers and gives it to her. Sievers with the basketball. Briarcliff still has one foul to give. Dordt by 8. Sievers picks up her dribble, comes back right side. Schoenhoven underneath Gustafson. And Gustafson is fouled on the play by Klein Hesslink, and she is disqualified. Well, the freshman in the big moment came in and acquitted herself quite nicely. Picked up 5 fouls, playing against one of the better post players in the conference, Carly Gustafson. And she fouls out of the ball game with 2:59 remaining. Dordt with an opportunity now to extend the lead. 81-73 our score. Schoenhoven moments ago getting a field goal for the defenders. Klein Hesslink getting a 3 for the Chargers. Gustafson's first free throw is good. Gustafson now with 26. And you and you're a lazy boy at home saying, what is the career high for Carly Gustafson? Well, let me tell you, her career high, 30 points against Dakota Wesleyan last year in the GPAC tournament. That came in a loss. She's closing in on that total here, 83-73 with the basketball. Slaughter to Wengert. Wengert to Benny. Benny on the bounce. Benny puts it up in traffic, hangs on the rim, won't fall through. Rebound ripped down by Gustafson. Ahead it goes to Hymanson. Hymanson with the right side faith. Thought about the 3, decides against it. Coach Bill Harmson may have tackled her if she had taken that. Left side it goes to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with the basketball. Schoenhoven with it. Dordt trying to turn the clock into an ally here. Hymanson with it, 10 to shoot, now 9. 2:23 left to go in the contest. Runs into a screen. Beckman 3, missed, no good. Rebound deflected. Gustafson with it, off of the glass, good. Carly Gustafson with a 2-point bucket. Dordt leads 85-73. Benny with the dribble. Benny picks it up back over to Deichler. Deichler, right side. Briarcliff with the basketball, down 12. Stabbed at and taken away by Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven with the basketball, and Schoenhoven brings the ball, hands it off to Hymanson, and the Dordt defenders under 2 minutes. Coach Bill Harmson will call a timeout. Dordt by a dozen. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Well, I've just received word that one of our stalwart Dordt fans, Caden, listening online, so glad to have you along with me today, Caden, on this Saturday afternoon, bleeding over into the evening. The Dordt defenders with an 85-73 lead, trying to close in on their 11th victory in conference play, trying to hand Briarcliff their 3rd loss in the league. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. And also, today's broadcast brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. Faith Van Hollen to throw the ball in. Van Hollen looking, gets it into Beckman. Dordt with 20 to shoot. Beckman, and now an offensive foul is called. Yeah. Bailey Beckman whistled for the offensive foul. Briarcliff will get it back, down by a dozen, and the Chargers will bring it in. So Dordt by a dozen. Here comes Slaughter. Slaughter with it out front, and she picks up her dribble. Sievers back to Sudman. Ball deflected out by Sievers, 18 to shoot. Slaughter goes right side. Benny off of the glass, good. Kennedy Benny with a 2-point basket, and the Dordt lead is 85-75. 120 and counting. 16 points now for Benny. Sievers with it. Sievers double teamed. Gets it right side Van Hollen. Dordt does have 2 timeouts remaining. They'll try to save it for the under 1 minute mark. That way you can advance the ball if you want. Don't have to deal with the pressure. Sievers wheeling her way in, and Sievers with the 2-point bucket. Macy Sievers with 8. Dordt leading 87-75. You're a stop away from sealing it in all likelihood. Deichler drives in, shot no good, and losing it on the way up is Wengert. And the Dordt defenders with a 12-point lead and the basketball. And that's what I was just talking about. Dordt's going to call a timeout. You don't have to deal with the full court pressure. You can inbound at midcourt. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Well, one of my fellow broadcasters in the GPAC says you've got to keep the craziness in proportion to the end of the ball, to where you are in the ball game. And for the Dordt defenders trying to seal a big home game, under a minute left to go, they're leading by 12, and that will be a happy locker room if the Dordt defenders can hang on after the disappointing loss to the Doane Tigers on Wednesday night. So the Dordt defenders using a timeout, they'll inbound near the midcourt stripe. So a 12-point advantage for the Dordt defenders. And this is a full-length timeout. Both teams have one timeout remaining. Both teams are in the bonus from here on out. The defenders led by Carly Gustafson's 29, Bailey Beckman has 18, and Hayden Hymanson with 10. Macy Sievers with 8 today, and Janie Schoenhoven has 12. Also got a big 3 from McKenna Klecker. So Dordt's inbounding with a 12-point lead and the basketball. This is as good a situation as you can get. Throwing it in is Van Hollen. Dordt with their original starting 5 on the floor, minus Schoenhoven plus Sievers. So Dordt with the basketball. Briar Cliff's going to let it play out. They're not going to commit fouls the way it looks. Beckman with the basketball out front. Gives it back over to Hymanson. Back to Beckman. 12 to shoot for the defenders. Now back over to Hymanson. 8 to shoot. Hymanson with the basketball. 4 to shoot. And Dordt's going to take the turnover. And the Briar Cliff Chargers, after conceding, will now bring the basketball up. So Dordt's going to win this one. Briar Cliff conceding after the timeout. Didn't go play the foul game, and the Dordt defenders are going to improve to 11-1. Floater on the baseline by Benny. And the Dordt defenders with a 10-point win, 87-77. Well, the Dordt defenders, after a disappointing loss to the to the Doane Tigers on Wednesday, bounce back, do what they need to, reassert themselves atop the Great Plains Athletic Conference with an 11-1 mark after the 10-point win, 87-77. So the Dordt defenders, 17-1 overall. Briar Cliff, this is their first loss in league play since around the Thanksgiving break when they lost to Dordt and Northwestern on back-to-back dates. Their next contest, Wednesday night, they'll be facing facing Northwestern, and the Dordt defenders will continue the second time around the loop with a game on Wednesday night at the College of St. Mary in Omaha, Nebraska. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with a recap of the first half of our doubleheader, and that'll include the Wireless World postgame show right after this 2-minute timeout.
am Bill Harbson, head women's basketball coach at Dordt University. Thank you for watching this Dordt Media Network broadcast produced by the students at Dordt. We appreciate your support. Go Defenders!
Between these two teams, the Dordt Defenders able to prevail 87-77. I think we've got some highlights to run through, so let's do that while I recap the second half. Dordt led at the half. As I double check things, I want to make sure I get that right. 47-38. Eliana Caparas came off of the bench for the Defenders in the second half, scored a couple of field goals. Macy Sievers, that freshman point guard, I refer to her as a sixth starter. She plays starter minutes. She ends up with 8 points this evening. Briarcliff Chargers did make a couple of runs at the Defenders, and that included Kagan Held with a breakaway layup, but it was McKenna Clacker. Dordt didn't make many threes today, just 5 in fact. Beg your pardon, 4. And they were well below their season average of 40%. But McKenna Clacker knocked down a big one in the second half, and Janie Schoenhoven, you work hard enough, the opportunities come, I believe, and Schoenhoven, 5 of 7 for the ball game, 12 points. She had to deal with some foul trouble, and the Dordt Defenders end up winning 87-77. The Defenders were led today by Carly Gustafson's 29 points, one shy of a career high. The numbers for Dordt, 31 of 64 from the floor, 48.4%. That includes 4 of 18 shooting from the arc for 22.2%. So you take away the three-point shooting, Dordt was 27 of 46. They also made 21 of 28 free throws for 75%. And the Defenders had a rebound, a rebounding edge of 39-31. Assists, Dordt had 10. Turnovers, the Defenders had 11. For the Briarcliff Chargers, 26 for 57 from the floor, 46%. 5 of 15 from the arc, 33%. And I think that speaks to the level of defensive play on the perimeter by both teams tonight. There were not many open threes this evening, and that reflects in both teams struggling, shooting slightly below their season average for the Chargers and well below their season average for the Defenders. Briarcliff 20 of 29 from the free throw line for 69%. And Briarcliff had 12 turnovers, and they were credited with 10 assists as well. Pretty evenly played ball game. It comes down to field goal shooting for the Defenders, and a little bit better from the free throw line as well. Individually, Dordt tonight, led by Carly Gustafson, the post player from Ethan, South Dakota. 29 points on 9 of 14 field goal shooting and 11 of 13 from the free throw line. She also had 9 rebounds and a couple of assists and a couple of block shots. That comes after a 20-point performance and the loss on the road to the Doane Tigers. Bailey Beckman, 18 points. She bounces back from a tough shooting night at Crete. 7 of 15 tonight for 18 points. And then you've got Jeannie Schoenhoven, 5 of 7 from the floor, 12 points. And Hayden Hymanson, 10 points tonight. And she also had 4 rebounds. Macy Sievers off of the bench for 8 points. 6 for Eliana Caparis, 3 for McKenna Klecker, and 1 for Macy Nielsen. For Dordt's total of 87 points. For the Chargers, they're led by Connor Sudman with 22 points. She tried to will her way back in, her team back into the game. She had a tremendous second half. It was a period of time where she was unstoppable, but she ends up with 22 points. Kennedy Benny with 18 on 5 of 10 shooting. Peyton Wenger, 12 points, all in the second half. Madeline Deichler with 10 points. She was bothered by foul trouble. Kagan Held with 4, and 2 each for Slaughter and Langle. 7 for Malia Klein-Hesslink in a reserve role tonight off of the bench. Other numbers, Gustafson 9 rebounds, Schoenhoven 8, 9 for Sievers, 4 for Hayden Hymanson. Sievers with 6 assists. 5 different defenders had 1 steal each. Gustafson also had a pair of blocked shots in her 30 minutes of play. For the Briarcliff Chargers today, their the other numbers, Wenger with 8 rebounds, 5 for Deichler, 4 for Slaughter, 2 for Held. Sudman with 5 assists and 2 assists for Benny. 2 steals as well for Benny. I like Sudman. Good player. 5'11 senior from Trainer, averaging 19.1 points per game, and she did just about everything possible for this Briarcliff team, but just didn't have enough firepower this afternoon. Dealing with some foul trouble. Both teams had to deal with that. Dordt ends up prevailing 87-77. Let's take another 2-minute break. We'll be back with a rundown of what else is happening in the conference, what else has happened in the conference. All that comes up on the Wireless World postgame show right after this 2-minute timeout.
I knew Hinton had.
I saw him play Western earlier in the year because Clay's coaching Western, and they. Game show, and Janie Schoenhoven has taken a seat beside me. She's going to get us into the post-game show. And first of all, Janie, congratulations. good win for the defenders tonight. Happy locker room this afternoon?
Yes, very happy.
A little different than Wednesday night?
Yes, a very different scene.
Yeah, let's talk about the rebound effect. Wednesday night, you go on the road, you're playing Doane, and do a lot of things okay, but just couldn't get over the hump, and you come home with a loss. Was that, I don't want to call it a wake-up call, that's a cliche, but did that get the team's attention and give you an opportunity to refocus the last 2 days?
Yeah, after the loss on Wednesday, we were really motivated to come back on practice on Thursday and Friday and really just dig in, and we were hungry for this win today. And we all wanted it, so we worked our butts off and we got it, and it paid off.
Thursday, I know Coach Harmson was traveling, so he left that off to Coach, I want to say Bernbeck yet, but Coach Swedberg, and she pushed you pretty hard on Thursday or challenged you? What was practice like on Thursday with her?
On Thursday, we took it like physically easy. We lifted and then we just watched film for a while. We watched film on the Jamestown and Briar game, just trying to learn what Briar does, what they do differently, and how we can defend them and how we are going to execute offensively.
And then yesterday, what was that like? What's the day before a game like this like in practice?
Yesterday we have a scout day, so we really dig in on, we focus on our offense, and then we focus on our defense, and then executing it against their offense and defense, just trying to get a feel for who they are and how they play.
So I'm going to ask you this: those 2 days, those were your intentions. How did that pay off today? Were you prepared for today's game, or did you have to make some adjustments?
We were prepared. We were dialed in. We knew who we were closing out to, who we were staying down on, who we were, we were just very dialed in today, and it was fun to see that.
I said during the post, you got a cheap basket, or not a cheap one, but one where you just keep working late. Really, that's about all you can do. It seems like some nights is just keep working, and sooner or later things are going to break down and you're going to take advantage. Is that your mindset, or what is your mindset on offense?
Yeah, I just know I have to keep working, and defensively, if my teammate's girl gets beat, I'm going to step in and help her, because that's what teammates do. We help each other out. And offensively, I just try to work off of the other girls. Play hard always.
You went to the Unity game last night, watched Gracie play. That was quite a game.
Yep.
Down, and then they pulled it out. How's Gracie doing? I haven't been able to see her much in person this year. How's she doing?
She's been doing good. She's playing great offense, great defense, playing quick like she always does.
Yeah, looking forward to the opportunity to play together again?
Yep, very excited. Excited to get on it this summer already.
Sounds good. Well, let's finish out this year first.
Yeah.
But I would say, I would imagine there's some excitement in the Schoenhoven household with that opportunity looming. Congratulations on the win, Janie, and I'll let you go.
Thank you, Mike.
That's Janie Schoenhoven, and Janie Schoenhoven, a key part for the Dordt defenders as they get the win here this evening by a final of 87-77. And Bill Harmson will take a seat beside me. And Coach Harmson, I'm going to say, first of all, I don't know that we would have pulled 2 words out of Janie Schoenhoven a couple of years ago. And now she comes up and she tells me what Thursday and Friday are like in practice, what the plan is,
yep,
how life is going. And it's the process for basketball is one thing, but there's a much bigger picture in play.
Oh, there certainly is. And Janie's growth, over the course of her first couple of years here, or a year and a half even, has just been awesome. And she's got great friends and great friendships established and great support. And for her to come up and do this is still really out of her wheelhouse, but it's good for growth, and it's good for her to give these things a try.
She's faking it pretty well because maybe it's because I'm such a friendly face that she's able to do that. And we'll tell the story of her recruiting process someday, but not yet.
Not yet.
Congratulations on the win. Briar Cliff Chargers and a bounce back. A lot of disappointment Wednesday night. That one was there for the taking and didn't take it. and it was bounce back time for this team, and they showed some resiliency.
Sure did. You know, Thursday we kind of lifted and watched some tape and regrouped a little bit. Friday we got out of habit a little, and we got after each other a little bit Friday in practice and addressed a few things, and I thought we truly got better. And then this morning in our walk around we were good. You know, I think sometimes we ask our kids to know so much mentally that they almost forget to play hard, and they forget to get that loose ball, and because they're so dialed into how we want them to play. So today I thought we had a great combination of each. You know, we did an excellent job of defending shooters. We did an excellent job of defending their post play and squeezing. And then, of course, offensively, to be able to get 46 points in the paint today, not just from Carly and Janie, but from a variety of our guards. That's just a huge, huge lift for us. So we got better today, Mike.
McKenna Klecker, big 3 in the second half. You didn't hit many, but that was a big one.
Oh, man. And she was sidelined with fouls, and we knew Garden Sudeman would be really tough, and she's a great player. And, but to see McKenna stay the course and keep battling and not get frustrated, and then to hit that big 3 Macy found her on, man, what a huge shot. We needed that.
One final note in 25 seconds. Kind of nice to have the crowd back in the gym, isn't it?
It sure is. Seeing the students back and his DeWitt rocking once again, just really, I know our team really sees it and feels it, and absolutely appreciates the support that Defender Nation gives this team. So yeah, absolutely, it's great to have the crowd back.
See you Wednesday in Omaha.
All right, Mike, thanks.
That's Bill Harmson. The Dordt Defenders victorious, 87-77. Let's take a 2-minute break.